So that wraps up our first session. I want to remind everybody that at 30 minutes after the hour, that'll be 3:30 on the Pacific coast and 6:30 on the East Coast. We're going to have a really special hour and a half session talking about the beginning of the HIV epidemic. I want to thank my co-moderators here and co-chairs. We've got a great next couple of days lined up. We're coming right on the heels of ID Week. A lot of data that was just presented just even a day or two ago will be talked about and highlighted as we go through. You've already seen some of it in some of our presentations so far, and that will continue as the week moves on. Next slide, please. Want to remind you that the evaluations are really important. We not only look at them, we digest them and think about them in terms of not only what we did right and well this year, but what are the topics you want to hear about next year? How did our speakers do? How the conversations go? I know we're in this awkward virtual world right now, but how well it worked for you. And that's going to be very important. We recommend that you do this daily. So at the end of this session, go to the website and log on, give your assessment of the day, just answer the questions. And you ideally should do it in one sitting, but we all understand that you might not be able to. As long as you're coming back to the site on your same computer, using the same sort of login that you did before, your information will be saved. You pick up where you left off. Just make sure you don't enter your cache, because that will erase the connection, that the computer at the center that's compiling this won't recognize you. But if you're using the same computer, the same login, you didn't dump your cache to reset your computer, you can pick back up. But again, probably best to just do it in one setting if you can, and do it every day. It's going to be a lot fresher to remember what you thought about a talk today than say on Wednesday when the whole conference is over. Next slide. So all these sessions are being recorded, as you noticed when you logged on. These general sessions and the case-based presentations will be available usually within 24 to 48 hours after the live presentation. This will be available to the registered attendees, and then later the sessions will be available to anyone who logs on. There's a lot of people who have interest in this conference, want to hear what's going on. Some people who registered couldn't make a given session. They can go back and look at it within a day or two. But others who might not even be at Ryan White clinics might find value in this, and we'll try to make these available in the weeks or so ahead. Next slide. So this, again, a reminder, coming up, we have some real stalwarts who are here in San Francisco back in the late 70s, early 80s, when the epidemic of HIV exploded. And we're going to talk to them about their experiences. It'll get very personal, probably moving in some situations. Lessons learned that they picked up, how they dealt with this, the onslaught of young people coming in and dying, how they worked with government locally and otherwise to create responses that helped, and then kind of walk through the evolution of the epidemic from that point forward. And again, at the end of the day, literally today, we'll start drawing parallels between that and how we're responding to COVID. So it should be a fabulous session. The time will go by very quickly, I'm sure. These are very dynamic people. I'm sure a lot of you recognize them. And it's going to be great. I look forward to co-moderating that with Dr. Cheever. So again, at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 4:30 Mountain. Come back to the site and we'll be here. So we got a break until then. If you aren't able to join us for the special session at 3:30, we'll be back here tomorrow to continue the course. And it really, I've looked through all the slides, the lineup is great, and it's going to be a wonderful experience for all of us. So I'll sign off for now. We'll hopefully see you back at 3:30.